All right. Thank you, Jeff. As you mentioned, my name's Lisa, and I'm the user experience designer here. So my job is to make ShipCompliant as easy and intuitive as possible for all of you. And this last spring, we sent out a big survey to all of our direct clients. We gave away 3 iPads, and we got a lot of excellent responses. So thank you, everyone, for responding. It really means a lot to us because it helps us define our product roadmap for the year to be right in line with what you need. So we actually loved it so much. We're going to do it again this next spring. Keep an eye out for it. We want every one of you to respond so you can help shape ShipCompliant. And one thing that came through loud and clear was that the reporting tools in ShipCompliant are very important to you, but it's also an area that you'd love to see improved. So when we received your feedback, we contacted many of you, in particular those that responded, and we listened and we learned more. And we took all that feedback to heart. We redesigned it from the ground up, and I'm going to present ShipCompliant Reporting 2.0 to you today because we really think you're going to love what we came up with. We're launching Reporting 2.0 on October 29th. And the important thing to note here is we're far from being done adding value in the area of reporting. We know how important it is to you. We've got a bunch of other really cool things in the works, and our goal is to make it a truly awesome and valuable capability of ShipCompliant. All right, so here I'm in my ShipCompliant account, and I'm already on the reports page. We're looking at the reports due this month. I've already checked, and all of my orders from last month are in ShipCompliant, so I'm ready to begin reporting. We've got all the important information here. But what we've received a lot of feedback about was that e-filing can be really cumbersome. So we've added visibility into which reports you e-file, and we've built some great tools that I'll show you in a few minutes. We also display a status for each report, so you know what you've worked on and what's new to you. Now, based on some of the feedback that we got, we know that people struggle with missing dates of birth or with shipments falling through the cracks or coming to light once it's already submitted. So we've also provided a lot more visibility if the report is missing information. So today I'd like to work on all of my excise tax and shipping reports. So I'm going to filter down to see just those. And I want to work on everything due by the 20th, so I'm going to go through and select those reports now. I realize this Wisconsin report is actually past due, but I really wanted it in here because I want you to see those e-file tools. So now that I've got those selected, I'm going to click Review to begin working on the report. ShipCompliant just created every report, and it's loaded this review screen with more details to help me feel confident about the order data in each report. So we want this process to be as easy as possible for you, and we've created this so you have all the tools you need right at your fingertips. We've got orders and gross sales from the reporting period, so you can compare that to your POS. We've also got these arrows, which are going to compare your gross sales from this period to a year ago. So in this instance, Nevada's sales are way down, and it might be an indicator that you're missing orders on this report. Now, I can also see more details about missing information on this screen. We've got license numbers and shipments here. So why don't we address the license number first? I'm going to click into it and begin typing my license. For the sake of this demo, I've actually already looked up all this information. And ShipCompliant will tell me exactly what license I need for this report. So I've got that, and it goes into effect on August 1st, and it expires in 5 years. So I'm going to go ahead and just type that in. And once I'm done here, I'm going to click Add. And that's going to add the this license to that report. So ShipCompliant's recalculating Nevada's report. You'll see there's no longer any errors. Now we've also got these missing shipments, or these shipments missing information. So I'm going to click up here to fix all of that information at one time. And there are several types of missing order information. ShipCompliant's going to walk me through it step by step. Here I'm missing some dates of birth on my Hawaii report, which dates of birth for purchaser and recipient are required on this report. So I'm going to go ahead and type those in. And again, I've already looked these up. But you know, if you needed more details about these orders, you could always click on the invoice number, and it'll show you everything you need to know. So bear with me as I type here. All right, and that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and click continue, and then I'll be able to see what else I'm missing. And it looks like I've got a couple orders that have a status of sent to fulfillment. Sent to fulfillment is important because it's an order status that means it's been paid for, it's ready to go to a fulfillment house, but it hasn't shipped yet. And on the report settings page, I can choose whether or not to include the sent to fulfillment orders on my report. I've chosen not to include them because I only want to report on orders that have actually shipped. So here ShipCompliant is just telling me that there are these orders that should have shipped last month, but they still have the status, so they're not going to show on my reports unless I do something. And there are a few things that I can do here. If the order is actually shipped, I can choose Mark as Shipped, which will change the order status, and it's going to include it on my report. Now, if the order was canceled, then I can void it right here. That's going to remove it completely, and then I won't report on it at all. If the order still should be sent to fulfillment, it might be a club order and it's not going to go out for another month, then I can always choose Did Not Ship Yet, and that's just going to move it into the next reporting period, so I'll see that on the next report. And for this last one, I have a tracking number, which is ideal because once a tracking number is added, the status of the shipment will automatically be updated in ShipCompliant. So I'm going to type that in, and now that I've got that, I'm going to click Continue. That's going to update all of my reports with this new shipment data. Hopefully by maintaining this order data, I have fewer amended returns, and I can save money by not overpaying for orders that don't belong. Back on this review screen, all those orders have been updated, and it looks like I'm ready to go. So I've got this e-file. I'm really excited to show this to you. I'm going to go ahead and click here, and it's going to open up a new window with Wisconsin's website. But this window is really special because it has helpful ShipCompliant data right along your normal state e-filing tools. So I'll go ahead and show you what I mean. I'll click the Show Instructions, which will give me e-file specific instructions. But what we really heard a lot of over and over again was that usernames and passwords are impossible to remember. They're different for every state. And we've heard about your spreadsheets and documents that you have to reference every single month. So I'm really excited to show that you can now save your password and username securely. Type it in once, and forevermore you can reference it here. You can copy and paste it right into your login field. So you'll never have to look them up again. Now also from this control center, we've got you can download your Wisconsin report. You can also print a copy of the screen at any time. So I could save a copy of my confirmation screen, for example. And for the sake of time, let's go ahead and assume that I've successfully e-filed my report. When I've finished, I can mark it as complete, and it will update in ShipCompliant with the note that I e-filed it. And I'm back on the review screen. Everything else here should be mailed in. So I'm going to go ahead and click Download All, and that will get all the other reports that I need. We have a few additional options when I download. There's All Reports. That's going to give me a PDF of all the print and mail reports, plus all of the e-file reports that I've selected. We've got check requests. We understand that most of you, every single month, have to make a check request from for your accounting department. So we've created this one-page spreadsheet. It populates all necessary information that they need to cut those checks to you. Address Labels is going to print the state agency addresses on Avery label stickers, so you can peel them right off and put them on your envelope. And Filing Instructions will provide brief but necessary information that you need to complete that report. So I'm downloading all of those. ShipCompliant just packaged them up, and they're on my computer now. So you just saw me work on my reports. I fixed all the issues, and I've downloaded everything necessary to file them to my computer. Now I have the opportunity to tell ShipCompliant that I want to move these off my plate. So I'm actually going to go ahead and click Yes, Please Archive. And that's going to move them to the All tab, and they're no longer due this month page. Here I'm back to Shipper and Excise Tax Reports, and you'll see they're no longer there. There's also this great status bar now up in the upper right that shows that I've submitted 46% of my reports. Once I've completed and archived everything, it's going to show as 100%, so I know I'm done. There's one more thing I want to show you. We understand that despite best intentions, sometimes you need to create a report for a reporting period long past. Perhaps you submitted a quarterly report and we're supposed to submit a monthly report. Maybe you're new to the ShipCompliant family and you want to access all your reports from before you became a client. Well, we've revamped our report settings page. This is going to look pretty similar to our existing clients. Right up here, I've got that status of sense of fulfillment I was mentioning, and I've chosen do not include them. This ensures that I'm not going to report on them twice. I'm only going to report on them when the order is actually shipped, and we now give you that visibility. And moving further down the page, you're going to see every single report that's available to you. If this were a wholesale account, you'd see. So I'm going to go ahead and click Edit next to a report, this California report, to just dive right into the really cool features. So I've been submitting this California report on a quarterly basis, and let's just say that I need to see the annual version of this report from the last 2 years. I've got this new option to create reports for a specific date range. So I'm going to go ahead and click this button, and that's going to allow me to create the 2 reports that I need. So here you'll see all my quarterly reports that are already in my account, but I'm going to actually choose annual and then select the years that I'm interested in. And now that I've got those selected, I'll click Create, I'll click Save, and that's going to create both those reports filled with all the correct order data, and they're in my account right alongside my original quarterly reports. So you're going to notice that the subscription hasn't changed. But let's try another scenario. I've been filing my Connecticut report quarterly for a long time now, but I just found out that I should have been filing monthly since the first of the year. So let's click Edit again, but this time I'm going to choose Edit Subscription, and that's going to switch all the upcoming reports over to monthly. So we're on quarter. I'm going to switch that to the monthly that I want. And this report happens to be optional e-file. So I can send it in or I can e-file it, and I actually do e-file. So I'm going to select that. That will update my filing instructions to show e-file specific, and it's also going to give me access to those great e-filing tools I showed you. And I get to choose what day I want it to go into effect. ShipCompliant now allows it to be a historical or future date. So I'm going to type in January 1st, 2013. And that's going to create every single monthly report as of that date. And we've got comments. So I've got the memory of a butterfly. I can type in notes as to why I made this change, and in 6 months I can go back and reference that. Here we go. Actually, no, I'm going to add the date. All right, so I'm going to click Save, and that's going to update my settings. It's going to create all those reports, and now you'll see that it's now e-filed and it's monthly. And one last thing, we also show visibility into reports that can be filed but you haven't chosen them. So there we have it. That concludes what I want to share with you today. Unfortunately, I really wish I had more time because there's so many great new features, and I'm sorry here, I'm just moving things around, and I really wasn't able to get to them. So as I mentioned earlier, we're far from finished with our reporting revamp. So keep an eye out for new innovations and tools to help make reporting as accurate, easy, and painless as possible. And of course, we're always open to feedback, so feel free to reach out to us with any suggestions. And this reporting 2.0 that I just showed you, it's going to be available to all of our direct and wholesale clients for your November reporting period. So starting October 29th, you'll see an announcement when you navigate to your Open Reports page with instructions on how to access the new reporting 2.0. Now, going back to that survey I mentioned earlier, another thing came pretty clear from your responses, and that was to have greater flexibility in editing shipments and rechecking them for compliance. You know, this is a request that we recognize as being high impact. So we revamped the Edit Shipments page. We released it to you within 6 months of receiving your, or within 6 weeks, I'm sorry. We release it to you within 6 weeks of receiving that feedback. So the Edit Shipments page, it now includes everything that you would need to ever edit about an order. You can change the ship to address, you can add more products or edit quantities, you can even change the carrier service or the invoice total. And when you click Save, we'll rerun a compliance check, and that's going to inform you of any compliance errors. And rest assured, any of the changes that you make in here, they're going to be fully available in our API to sync back to your calling system. So hopefully we keep those in sync. Now, Jeff also earlier talked about the importance of age verification. And I wanted to take a moment to walk you through how you can set that up in your account. So here we go. To get here, you're going to want to go to Account Settings, and then you're going to want to select Age Check Settings right here. And once you're here, you click Enable, and we'll walk you through everything that you need to know. Of course, we've got settings to help you control when you want to age check. And per Jeff's recommendations, we really suggest that you have them in all states and for on-site and off-site orders. We'll only check them once per customer, and then we'll store that data forevermore. So that does it for me. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Patrick now, and he's going to run you through some other great new tools.
All right, thanks, Lisa. The new features look awesome. My name is Patrick Barrett. I manage the wholesale product here at ShipCompliant. And I just want to inform you and kind of educate you on some of the existing tools that we have that are available to you today. And actually kind of stepping back from reporting 2.0, which is great, getting all of your shipments in the right status, ready for reporting. One step before that is making sure that your orders get sent to your customers efficiently and effectively, which is what the fulfillment management tool is in ShipCompliant. So it basically takes the guesswork out of shipping all of your orders, provides you visibility and control, and it really is designed to give your customers a good experience in sending and getting the orders and the line that you're shipping to them. So the screen here is displaying the fulfillment management page. It's available under the Orders tab in ShipCompliant. This is available to all the clients, all of our direct-to-consumer clients. And if many of our clients are using this tool today. But if you're not using it, there's no reason not to. There's two kind of modes to use fulfillment management. One is using a third-party fulfillment provider, and the other is if you're shipping in-house. So I'll kind of cover both of those. An integrated third-party fulfillment provider can basically obtain the orders that are placed in your point-of-sale system and pack them and ship them at their location. So making sure that the orders come through successfully is really important, but it gives you visibility into those orders. So what you're looking at here at the top portion is all orders ready to be processed. And as they move to the bottom portion, which is previous fulfillment batches, this is what your fulfillment location has used and batched to fulfill your orders to get them out to your customers. What's nice is it gives you that visibility and gives you control, so you can efficiently communicate with, as opposed to calling or emailing your fulfillment location, you can come into fulfillment management, see who pulled the batch, when the batch was pulled, the number of shipments that were in the batch, how many have received tracking information. And to Lisa's point when she was demoing reporting 2.0, tracking information is really important because that's going to update your shipments and allow them to populate on your monthly reports. So getting a good workflow in place is important because there's a process, there's an order of events that should take place for capturing the order, fulfilling the order, and reporting the order. And tracking numbers really help keep all those in line. Also, we can provide you with visibility into any issues that may occur. So an exception is raised when, let's say, there's no inventory, or perhaps something else is occurring with an order, like there's an issue with the shipping address, maybe it changed, and you need to act upon those orders. These exceptions provide you visibility, that provide the shipping location visibility, and it allows you to come in and resolve those issues that may exist. So the other way to fulfill orders through ShipCompliant, if you don't use a third party, is to fulfill them in-house. You want to emphasize that we do have an integration with FedEx Ship Manager and UPS WorldShip. It's really great because as you move orders from ready to fulfillment into a batch, that integration allows you to push the orders into your Ship Manager or WorldShip program. Along with that, you can generate packing slips, which have a nice logo on them, your product information, and if you use the integration, there's even a barcode on the packing slip, which will streamline the process in getting those orders into FedEx and WorldShip. Also, with fulfillment management, we have a really robust alert system, which allows you to be alerted when an order is going for a second delivery or a third delivery. It's really important for your customer experience. Customer loyalty is very important in the wine industry, so you want to make sure your orders are getting to your customers quickly and efficiently, and that they have a really good experience. Also, the last tool that I'll kind of highlight is the temperature analysis. Coming into a colder season, during the summer, during the winter, there are extreme temperatures that would restrict shipment of your orders, and so there's a temperature analysis tool only for in-house shipping, and it allows you to set thresholds on temperatures, and we look for the destination forecasted temperature. And ShipCompliant, when you run the analysis, will automatically create exceptions, and you can go through and use that analysis to see is the shipment ready to be shipped, has the temperature changed, and then you can remove those exceptions and send them off to your customers. These are tools that are available to you today, so you should really take advantage if you're not. And if you are using them, find ways to make it even better. So, using the entire tool, using that visibility is, I think, really, really valuable. The next thing I wanted to cover is CoAwesome. So, as Jeff had mentioned earlier, we have an integration with TTB, which is great. It allows us to pull COLA information into your account, so it streamlines label registration, and from a wholesale standpoint, it allows you to register your products in all the states. From a direct standpoint, it allows you to link your products and labels. But CoAwesome is kind of before you ever get the COLA, it allows you to submit new items to the TTB. And it's a great tool, because when you do this, when you submit COLAs online directly to TTB, there's a lot of different pages that are kind of used and filled out. There's, I think, 6 pages, a bunch of different steps, a lot of different information. What we've done is condense that into one easy-to-use form field page. And as you're going through and filling out this information, we can do on-page validation to make sure, let's say, your ABV is in the correct range based on the class type for your wine. Make sure that vintage and varietal and appellation are filled out correctly, so that they'll, the TTB doesn't have any issues with your submission. The goal for CoAwesome is to make it easier for you to submit, and resolve any possible corrections that may come back to you. So these on-page validations are great. We've also really made the label images step a lot easier, a lot more robust. So we check for the resolution of the images you're uploading. We can convert PDF files for you to the recommended or required formats for TTB. It's even a cropping tool when adding images. And we've even seen a decrease in distortion lines you may have seen when you submit through CoAwesome Online. So, we're really making sure those images are sent to the TTB correctly and they're easy for you to use. Another way that we've kind of streamlined the validation and the approval process is, our communications and our partnership with TTB. We've gotten a lot of feedback from them. What do they do when they review your CoAwesome? This validation checklist basically lets you highlight some of the things like brand and fanciful name, government warning, lets you highlight that and send it as a supporting document to TTB just to make it that much easier for them. So again, the goal is to make your submission accurate and easy for TTB to approve, especially when if you're new to submitting CoAwesome. We really do provide a lot of information, a lot of direction in getting those CoAwesome to TTB. Of course, you can save drafts. You can come back and work on them later. This is really useful for our clients during the TTB shutdown, so they could kind of queue up all of their new items. And as Jeff mentioned, there's a real big backlog. So, saving drafts not only helps you with, just managing a long list or managing all of your, in the wake of the shutdown, it could be useful as well. The two features that are available to you today, we want to make sure that you get in there and use them. If you have any questions, contact us. Let us know how we can help you get up and running and use them more efficiently. Also in ShipCompliant, there's a help knowledge base where you can find information as well.